Morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Yeah, just get a little bit warmed up. Try this illustration number 2 on the screen. Illustration number 2 on the screen. Yes, Sudipta, Urmila, why didn't you read it up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why don't you read it? Illustration 2.
A passenger transport company is running 5 buses between two towns, which are 40 kilometers apart. Seating capacity of each bus is 40 passengers.
Mm-hmm.
Following details are available from their books for the month April 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Actual passengers carried were 75% of seating capacity.
Mm-hmm.
All the 5 buses run on all days for the month. Each bus made 1 round trip per day. Calculate cost per passenger kilometer.
Cost per passenger kilometer. So first thing what you have to do, finding out cost per passenger kilometer is very easy. Why? Because cost divided by passenger kilometers you have to do. The trick part is in identifying how much are the passenger kilometers. Please find out the passenger kilometers. Urmila, you will answer this. Find out the passenger kilometers. Yeah, Urmila. many kilometers, Urmila? Yeah, I'm not getting your voice. Okay, 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 I don't get your voice. So 40 kilometers, okay, between two towns. So 40 kilometers you go and 40 kilometers you come. So total 80 kilometers, 40 into 2, 40 into 2 into 5 buses. Into 5 buses, right, guys? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then what we should do? Into how many seats?
40 seats.
Into 40 seats. So how much is that? So how many passenger kilometers? Yeah, how many passenger kilometers? Hmm? 5 into 40 into
16.
sorry? 3 lakh? I
60.
don't, I don't think so. 5 into 40 into 40 into 30. 30 days in a month.
4,80,000, sir.
75% seating capacity, so we should do.
Right. So 4,80,000 and but for costing purposes, actual passengers are carried are only 75% seating capacity is only that can be considered. So based on this, whether you call it actual capacity or normal capacity or expected capacity, it's only 75%. So you will consider as 75% you will take. Right, so that becomes 3 lakhs 60,000. Right, you're right. 3 lakh 60,000. What Sudipta said is correct. 4 lakh 80 into 75%. Okay, right, Nitya.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the next thing to do? Identify the total costs and
Divided by 3,60,000.
divided by 3 lakh 60,000. Now, the only part is that for presentation purposes, make sure that you identify standing charges, running charges, and maintaining charges. Please, please see that you follow this. Any questions on this?
No.
Or Sudipta, any questions? Right. The only thing which you are not asking here, and maybe someone in the exam may put a doubt in your mind, is related to interest. Generally, interest is a finance charge. It's not considered in. It's not considered
Explain.
in costing. In costing, it's more of a. It's more of a financing charge than an administration cost or anything. But however, in service costing, okay, because predominantly service industry does not employ a lot of assets and all unless it is transport and all. So in that case, you can add interest because that's considered as a requirement for operating or for this service. So hence it is added. Okay, interest is added because you have to find out cost per passenger kilometer. Okay, that argument always will be there, whether interest to be added or not to be added. Okay. Now, the other day, last week, last class, we talked about, if for especially for transport and all, we talked about whether how to calculate passenger kilometers. Okay, that day we identified the passenger kilometers were 600 kilometers into 4. Okay, uh, like that we calculated how many kilometers and all. So similar is the calculation in case of metric tons. Here you're seeing here something. A lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons from station A, and it unloads 8 metric tons in station B, right? So that means what? That means what? That 8 metric tons, 8 metric tons travel from A and B, and the distance between A to B is 80 kilometers. Guys, you're getting it?
Yes, sir.
So 20 metric tons into 80 kilometers is the metric ton kilometer. Similarly, another from B to C, they carry how much? And balance goods and 8 metric tons. Yeah, so my bad. Did I calculate it correct? Hmm. Fair enough. How did we calculate? So how will you calculate the metric tons? So what I was saying, 20 metric tons were loaded from A to B. How many kilometers? How many kilometers from A to B?
80 kilometers.
80 kilometers. 80 kilometers. How many goods? What is how many metric tons traveled for 80 kilometers into 12? That's how much.
Sir, from A to B, whole 20 kilometers for travel, no, sir.
What you're talking
Or
about.
20
That's what I
metric
given
tons.
in the book. Yeah, 80 into 12. So how much is that? Yeah,
Uh,
8 twelves.
60.
Huh?
Sir, but from A to B, they'll carry all the 20 metric tons, no, sir.
Yeah, hold on. No, you're right. I'm not saying no.
960.
960, sir.
960. Right? Now, what about B to C? How many metric tons? How many metric tons? 8 now. 8 metric tons were unloaded in B, right? Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
I saw my bad. This is not 80, no? This was how much? Hmm. 8 metric tons, correct? 8 metric tons, right? Guys, please respond. 8 metric tons, right?
A to B. So unloaded, you're saying.
No, I got it wrong. A to B, how many kilometers? 80 kilometers, you're right. I was right, 80 kilometers into how many goods? 12, correct. That is 960. Now, from B to C, how many metric ton, how many kilometer, not kilometers, how many metric tons? How many metric tons from B to C?
B to C, it should be 12, right? Because totally we're carrying 20 and at station B we're unloading 8.
Right.
So we have 12 left. So B to C, it should be 12.
Unloads, yeah, you're right. You're right, I'm wrong. It's 8. So how much is that?
That's 20, sir. A to B.
This is both you and Nitya are saying, sir, it is 20 metric tons into
80 kilometers, sir.
how much is that?
1600.
1,600.
1600 and B to C?
It's 12.
Hmm?
12. 120 kilometers into 12.
Hmm.
1440.
Hmm. And
A to C, it is 16.
what is again A to C?
On return trip, sir.
Okay, on return trip. Fair enough. On return trip, hmm.
A to C, it is 160 kilometers into 16.
16 metric tons into
160.
60. How much?
2560.
Anything else?
That's,
Anything else?
that's it.
Okay, fair enough. So total
5600.
how much is this? How much is that?
So 200 kilometers.
From A to C, how many kilometers?
160.
Then where did you get this 120 from? B to C.
B to C.
Hmm. Because this is a triangle, is it? Is it?
They're just starting from A and then going to B and then C. They're not like,
It's more of a triangle. So my calculation won't work. Right. You guys are right. So it's like what? They are going A, B, C, correct? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
This is 80. This is 80, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And this is?
120 kilometers.
And this is?
160.
How is that 160? Yeah, possibilities there. Okay, so my calculation is not wrong. My calculation would have worked if it was A, B, C. If this was 120, sorry, not it was how much it was? If this was 180 and this is 120, then this is 200.
160.
Then it would have worked. Okay, nevertheless, makes sense, guys. Yeah, so it is 5,600. 5,600. 5,600 is what? Is what?
metric ton kilometer.
Right. Metric ton kilometer 5,000 is what is called the weighted average basis. It is the weighted average basis. Okay, so this is not the weighted average. This is the basis for calculating cost based on weighted average. Okay. If you had to take a simple average, it is pretty simple. 20 plus 12 plus 16. What is 20 plus 12 plus 16? What is that? These are the
Metric tons.
metric tons divided by 3. And 80 plus 20 plus 60. Okay, is your what?
Tons
Is what?
kilometer.
Kilometers. Okay, so 16 into 360 you will get metric ton kilometers. This is simple average. Simple average is not a very sophisticated method. Weighted average is much sophisticated method. They may not ask you any questions on simple average. Right, guys? Yes or not?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Keep that thing in mind. Now we will do the hotel business related. Before that, we will go into again, we'll go into transport business again, and we'll try to solve this problem. We did ABC transport question, we did, right? Okay. Let us try this school related, SMC public school. Okay. Nitya, read it.
Yes, sir. SMC is a public school having 5 buses, each plying in different directions for the transport of its school students. In view of a larger number of students availing of the bus service, the buses work 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and in the afternoon. The buses are garaged in the school. The workload of the students has been so arranged that in the morning the first trip picks up senior students and the second trip plying on hour later picks up the junior students. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip takes the junior students and an hour later, the second trip takes the senior students home.
Okay.
The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers. The school works 25 days in a month and remains closed for vacation in May, June, and December. Bus fee, however, is payable by the students for all 12 months in a year. The details of expenses for a year are as under. Driver's salary rupees 4,500 per month per driver. Cleaner's salary 3,500 per month. Salary payable for all 12 months. One
That's
cleaner employed for all the 5 buses.
That's okay. You can directly go to the last seating capacity.
Seating capacity of each bus is 50 students. The seating capacity is fully occupied during the whole year. Students picked up and dropped within the range of 4 kilometers of distance from the school are charged half fare, and 50% of the students traveling in each trip are in this category. Ignore interest, since the charges are to be based on average cost. You are required to prepare a statement showing the expenses of operating a single bus and the fleet of 5 buses for a year.
Now here the cost becomes very, very important. Why the cost becomes very, very important is that the business is not related to transport. The business is related to school. But however, they are running the buses for the school and they want to recover the cost of transportation of students from the parents, right? So they want to find out what is the cost. So you are required to prepare what you're supposed to prepare. Yeah, what is that you're supposed to prepare? You're prepared to prepare a statement showing
Expenses
expenses
of
of operating a single bus and a fleet of buses for a year. So forget about the remaining part and just find out the cost. Let's see how well you can identify the costs. As simple as that. You need to find out the total cost for the per annum and you have to find out the cost of operating each bus. Please go ahead and find out. Carefully, if you have any questions, you ask me. Work it out, please. And of course, as I told you, there must be standing charges, there must be running charges, there must be, what is the other one?
operating charges,
Standing charges, operating.
maintenance or operating.
I'll put the charger, please work it out. One step at a time. If you do one step at a time, getting the answer will be very easy. So just find out the cost.
So total cost is for a bus it's 3,78,000, and for five buses it is 18,90,000.
What, Nitya?
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, I couldn't do the diesel working, sir.
Let's do it. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me, diesel how much?
Diesel cost is 45 rupees per liter.
What?
And,
Five.
and then each bus gives an average mileage of 4 kilometers per liter, sir.
Okay. How many kilometers one bus is riding? Traveling.
Students picked up and dropped within the range up to 4 kilometers of distance. Sir,
Okay.
but only 50% of the students are in the radius of 4 kilometers, sir.
That's
But
what I,
other than
wait a second.
50%.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What are you finding out?
Cost of the diesel.
Cost of the diesel depends on what?
Kilometers.
Or is it based upon the number of students?
Kilometers, sir.
How many kilometers you are traveling, that much, that is only is the basis.
Yes, sir.
Whether one student is traveling or 100 students are traveling, it is the same cost.
Yes, sir.
Yes or not?
Yes, sir. But
So that means first students are irrelevant, first of all, correct?
sir, but
Wait, yes or not?
yes, sir.
Right? Now, if I have to from Banshankari to Marthalli, outer ring road. From Banshankari to Marthalli, I have to take the bus. Yeah, the school is in Banshankari. The bus has to pick students from Marthalli to Banshankari. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So will it take all the students at Marthalli? No, right?
No, sir.
But from Marthalli it has to start and it has to go to.
Banshankar.
Does that really matter how many students have traveled how many kilometers?
No, sir.
Now what's your question?
So my question is only like 50% of the students are in the radius of 4 kilometers, sir. So that is fine. But the other 50% of the students are outside 4 kilometers, no, sir. So the bus will travel more than 4 kilometers, no, sir, at that time.
Where is that given?
Sir, in this para only, students picked up and dropped within the range of up to 44 kilometers of distance from the school are charged half fare, and 50% of the students traveling in each trip are in this category. Only 50% of the students are in the category of 4 kilometers radius, sir. With the buses going more than it's running more than 4 kilometers for the other 50% of the students, no, sir.
Right now, how many kilometers it is running?
They have not given that one, sir.
They have given it. You are not seeing that. They have given that.
The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers.
Now you are happy?
Yes, sir.
It's okay or not okay?
It's okay, sir.
Honestly, I had to explain.
So it is 8 kilometers into 8 rounds into 25 days. That's all, sir.
How much is that?
And for 9 months, sir, for whole year, it will be 25 days into 9. 14,400, sir.
What
Per
14,400?
bus. Distance traveled.
Correct. So, cost.
Sir, but okay.
Ask.
Sir,
Yeah.
but what The distance traveled is by one bus, no sir?
Correct.
So divided by 4
Hmm.
into 45 rupees. The cost for per bus, it will be 1,62,000, sir.
What Sudipta was saying. Right? Yes or no, Nidya?
Yes, sir.
That's correct answer. 1,62,000.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
That's
For one bus.
yes, sir. 1,62,000 for one bus. For 5 buses, it's 8,10,000.
Right. Hmm.
And then I got the answer, sir, what you did that to.
8,10,000. Yeah, correct.
Yes, sir.
What's the total now? Total cost.
For per bus, it's 3,78,000.
Okay.
For 5 buses, it's 18,90,000, sir.
For 5 buses and for this is for 5 buses and that's for
18 lakh.
for 5 buses 18,90,000. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, so my dear friends, what I'm trying to explain you is don't go to the remaining part of the question. What is the cost of running the bus?
3,78,000.
3,78,000 is the cost of running the bus. Correct? For this is per annum. Per month, 31,500 it seems. Per month is how much?
31.
Right. Now, what we have to understand is that from Banshankari to Marathali, right? And from Marathali to Banshankari, right? The cost of operating this distance per month is 31,500, correct? Guys agree?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is the cost of operating, going and coming back. Assume that this is for one trip only. Assume that this is for only one trip. Okay? Going and taking the students to the school and bringing them back. Now, if all the students are from Banshankari and all the students are from Marthali and they go to Banshankari and all the students come to Marthali, fixed distance, then how much would you charge? 50 students. 50 students, how much would you charge? Yes, guys.
31,500 by 50.
31,500 divided by 50. Do you agree? Urmila and Sudipta, do you agree? And Nitya, do you agree? So how much is that? Yes, guys. 31,500 divided by 50 students.
30.
630. 630 you would have charged per month. Right, Urmila? Right, Nitya?
Yes, sir.
If I told you that all these students are from Marthali, all these students travel the whole distance and all these students come back, then this is correct. Yes or not? Yeah, makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Now, what if I tell you now that half of these students are picked up in silk board, then half of these
Full
students,
will be charged.
sorry,
For the students coming from Manshankari, full will be charged.
Okay.
And
How much will be charged? You're not telling me how much will be charged. Yeah, you're right. Full must be charged. So should I charge 630 per student?
No, sir.
So how much should I charge? Can you apply a little bit of logic?
Half rate.
Half rate?
Yes,
Half
sir.
rate, that is how much?
315.
315 into how many students?
25.
25,
How much is that?
7875.
7875. And 630 into 25. That's what you are saying? How much is that?
15,750, sir.
No, but we divided 31,000 by 500 by 50, then we got 630, right?
Yeah,
In this case, how will we divide by 50?
that's what I'm
Should
saying. What's the total? What's the total?
23,625.
23,625. So Nitya, if I listen to you, will I be able to recover my 31,500 cost?
No, sir.
That's what I want to prove there. Nitya, you're getting it?
Yes, sir.
I would also think that for half of the students, I will charge half the fare. For the remaining, I will charge that. Will I be able to recover this? Are we getting this?
Yes.
So I can't
Yes.
charge like this. So I can't charge like this. So how do I charge? That's the question. So this whole point of finding out the equivalent is based on this. That I can't just simply divide the cost. Are you getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Nitya, you're getting the logic behind what we are trying to do. So now can you tell me, right, Sudipta, that's what you were saying, isn't it?
Yes.
You were also saying what I said, right? Or you're saying something else?
That only. By 50, we cannot do, right?
Can't do by 50 now. So how do we calculate? So you can't just say 630 divided by 2 or the remaining other. I will incur losses. The school will be unnecessary incurring losses. The school is saying that we will charge cost to cost basis. So ultimately what should happen? The cost must be recovered by the student, by the school. They are not making any profit out of there. So how much to charge, Nitya?
Sir, so 50 is the seating capacity.
50 is the
Uh,
seat.
so 50% are the people who travel within like 4 kilometers, sir.
Hmm.
So 25 students.
Hmm.
And then if the 25 is half,
Hmm.
then 25 into 2, it will be 50, sir. Then again, 75 students are the total for one trip.
Right. So what you are saying is that equivalent students you are finding out. What is the equivalent students?
75 students for one trip, sir.
Equivalent students. Can you please help me with the calculation?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Seating capacity of the bus is 50.
50 students.
Then half students travel half of the journey, and then other half students will complete the journey.
Right. So 50 students are traveling half.
20, yes, sir. 25 students are traveling half.
25 students. 25 students are traveling half and
Other 25 is they are completing the journey, sir, completing the trip.
so other 25 students full.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the equivalent number of students? Where did you get 75?
Sir, if 25 students are the half, and then the full will be 25 into 2, no, sir.
So the full will be 25 into 2. That is how much? 50
50.
students. 50 students. And here,
Sir, 25 is the half one, and for the full 50 students, sir.
yeah, for the full how 50 students?
So they'll consider it like that only, no, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, 25 students in the half, 50 students in the full, sir.
25 students in the half, yes, and
50 students in the full.
50 students in the full. Okay, no worries. Then
75 students in one trip, sir.
full or half?
So this is the equivalent number. What? Equivalent
Equivalent of
number.
what? Equivalent of full or equivalent of half?
Sir,
What?
that's total, no, sir.
Yeah, total only. Equivalent of what? Half or full?
Why are we doing that like 2 into 2 and then 50?
Then what you should do, Sudipta?
I just like
Hmm. So that's what I'm just trying to simulate your thoughts. How you should do that? Hmm. Go ahead, Sudipta. How you are doing?
I'm not sure. Like I can you please explain that?
No, no, I'm asking you how much to charge. I'm not saying, okay, this is what Nitya is saying. I'm not saying this. Okay, so what according to you is the calculation? Forget about this. Forget about this. How much you should charge from the students?
25 students, half they're going.
Hmm.
Other 25 full they're going.
Hmm. Yeah, how will you charge the students? Tell me, give me the rate. This is your business. This is your school. This is your problem. Okay, Nitya, you tell me, you said 75. Okay, fair enough, 75. So how much should I charge the students?
Sir, they are going 2 trips, no, sir. So 75 into 150 per bus, sir. Sorry, 75 into 2, 150. Then for per bus, it will be 150, sir. 150 students.
Come again?
Sir, they in the beginning only the in the
75.
beginning of the
This is
section only
75, right?
they,
Per student, how much I should charge? You tell me. This is the cost. These are the number of students you are saying. How much should I charge per student?
mm, 210, sir.
410. I will charge from
210, sir. 210.
210. Okay, 210 into
Into Y, sir.
per student. I have to check the cost, na? How many students I should charge? All the students I will charge 210. Should I charge all the students
No, sir.
210? If
No,
I
sir.
charge all the students 210 into 50, how much I will get? 42,000 I will get. My cost is I'm recovering, I'm making a profit out of students. That is not correct. So how much I should charge? How much should I charge? See, it's always, I should recover my cost. That should be there in your mind. You can see the answer and you'll get the numbers. But the thing is that you should get the cost back. How much to charge? What's your idea? Don't look into the answers, please. Huh? What's your answer?
But if we go by like 150, what she's saying,
Huh? What is 150 then? Where did you get 150?
Sir, 150 is they told that bus is doing 2 round trips, sir.
Okay.
So 75
No,
in
see, my question was different. There was no 2 round trips. I was not talking about 2 round trips. I am talking about 1 trip. That's all. They are talking about that problem is different. This problem.
then 420,
Huh?
420.
Okay. 420. 420 into this. I should charge from how many students?
Sir, but in that 75 there are half-way students also, full-face students also, sir.
Huh.
So for 25 students, you should charge.
25 students. I should charge 420 and
So no, sir.
then what?
So that's some.
Sir, 840 into 25 next. Right.
Sorry.
420 into 25.
420 into 25. So from 25 students, you are charging those who are traveling full. From them, you are charging 420 rupees into 25. How much is that?
The full no, half way for the students traveling half, we're charging 420.
Okay, fair enough. How much is that?
10,500.
10,500. Okay.
And
25 students are
in
traveling
full,
full. Oh,
840.
840. How much is that?
21,000.
So now, how much is that?
31,500.
Now it makes sense. What is yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How did you get this 420 and 840? How did you get
31,500 divided by 75.
31,500 divided by
Oh, 75.
75? How much?
420, sir.
420. So this is equivalent of what? 75 is equivalent of
Half the students.
half students. That's what I was asking you. Nitya, 75 is what? 75 is what? 75 is equivalent to
Half student.
half students. Guys, getting it? Getting it or not? Sudipta, makes sense?
So 25 into 2 they're doing because half you're charging, or
Sorry, come again?
the 25 into 2 you're doing to
20.
get 75.
Yeah. 25 into 25 into? I did not get it. Sorry, come again.
That's 75 calculation.
Where did we get the 75 calculation? Go ahead.
Can you explain that? I understand.
25 students are traveling full. That means if I have to split them into half students, then they are how many? 50?
Okay, 25 full ko you're making half.
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense. 25 full, I'm converting them into half. So that's why they become 50.
Yeah,
50 half
yeah.
students. I'm converting that into 50 half students.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. Sir, 25 students travel half. Correct?
Yes.
That means equivalent full is 12.5. Agree?
Yes, sir.
And full students are 25.
Yes.
So total
32.5.
32.5
This is
students.
equivalent to full students.
This is equivalent to full students. So what is the cost? What is the cost? 31,500 divided by
970.
How this is the 32.5? 37.5. 37.5 is how much? Yes, guys?
840.
840. Make sense?
So for full students and then 420 for.
For full students, definitely I'll have to charge. How many full students are there? 25 I have to charge. And the half students, like Nitya said, sir, half only I should charge. 420 into 25. Are you getting it, guys? Nitya, you're following this.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So unless until you identify your equivalent, whether you converted them into half equivalent or you converted them into full equivalent or half equivalent, you will, otherwise you'll get a wrong answer. Be very careful over there. Make sense? Nitya, in either case, I'm getting the correct answer. Correct? I can do like this or I can do like this. I have to be very careful in what equivalent I'm converting. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Sudipta, okay?
Yes.
Hmm. I'm not getting so much of response from Urmila today. Maybe. So this is the calculation, right? So is our calculation that we have done, is this correct? No. Why? Because is this the answer for our question? No. But what we ignored in our question, we ignored that there are two trips that we have ignored. Guys, make sense?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? We have ignored that there are two trips is what we have ignored. Guys, make sense? So what is the equivalent over here? The equivalent here is what they have calculated. Like you have said, 75 students is equal, is the 75 students is the equivalent half pair students. So now there are, for junior and for senior, there are two trips. So it becomes 150. It becomes 150. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it? Right? Or you can simply do like this also. So 31,500 divided by half you do, because this is the cost for, this is the cost for all the four trips. Going back for juniors, for seniors. Correct or not? So you can do half of it. That also is possible. Or here also you can multiply into 2. So 150 into 150, 75 into 2, that is 150 equivalent half fair students. Is getting it? Yes or not? So how much do you charge? For 4 kilometers, you will charge 210 for,
Half pair students.
and
Full
4
pair is 440.
full list students. Make sense, guys? What did I ask?
Sir, I'm confused, sir.
What's your question? Ask me. What's your question? You're confused about this part.
I'm confused about differentiating half-fair students and full-fair students, sir.
That is a valid confusion. I'm not saying all the students have confusion. There's no problem with that. But only one logic. What is that logic? That logic is that whatever I charge, the charge into number of students, if I do, I should recover my cost. That logic you have to stick to or not?
Yes, sir.
So if that you are sticking, then you will be able to get the answer. Now, what is your concern? You tell me. Simple logic. All the calculation you did, Banshangari to Marthalli, 50,000 is the cost. 50,000 is the cost.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, no, sir. When we did 31,500 divided by 150 students, we got 210, sir. But in that 150 students, there are half-fair students also, full-fair students also, sir. So on what basis are they?
Start it afresh, you will get it. Shall we try?
Yes, sir.
We'll change the entire question. Cost
Yes.
is how much?
50,000.
Cost is
11 o'clock.
Cost is 50,000. Okay.
Yes, sir.
students, bus capacity 100 students. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
This is both ways, it goes both ways. Okay, half of the students travel half distance. How much will you charge? Why don't you freshly apply your logic here?
Sir, so 50 students will travel half distance.
50 students half distance.
And the other 50 students, they go for the full distance, sir.
50 students full distance. You tell me what is equivalent.
50 students are the equivalent, sir.
Huh?
Full distance. No, sir.
What is the equivalent?
Sir, if the 50 students, if the 50 students are traveling half distance, then they would be equivalent of 25 students, no, sir?
Very good. They are equivalent of 25 students of which category?
Half distance, half fill.
The 50 itself is half, no?
Yes, sir.
Then 25 students you calculated, that 25 is equivalent to half or full?
Half. No, sir, they will become full now, sir.
They are full, that's what I'm saying. They are full. Agree?
Sir, can we do it in the either way also, sir? Like if 50 is half, then we can take 100 as the full 100.
Huh? Sorry?
Can we take it in the other way, sir? Like
You can take. Tell me.
if 50 students, just a second, sir.
Okay, let us put it like this. Okay, let's say you and your brother. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you and your brother get down in Singapore half this way from Panshankari.
Yes, sir.
That means what? You together are one full.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it or not? So this half, that means what? 2 we converted into 1. So 50 half we converted into
25 full.
that is the logic.
Yes, sir.
And the remaining 50 are 50 as it is.
Yes, sir.
So this is 50 students full as it is, no change. So total
75 students.
What category? Full category.
Yes, sir.
Full category 75 students. Agree?
Yes, sir.
So how much should I charge? 50,000 divided by 75. How much is that?
667.
667. I should charge to whom?
Full distance, sir.
For the full, this is the full rate. This is the full
Yes,
rate I got. Correct or not? So 667 into 50 is how much?
Into 50, sir.
50 students only, no?
33,350.
Correct. And half students I should charge half?
Yes, sir.
How many students are there?
25 students.
3 into 25. How much is that?
1 second. 33.
3 into 50 only, no?
8325, sir. Sir, 333 into 25 is
Sorry, yeah, you're right. 50.
8325.
Into 50. Into 50, ma. Sorry. 50 students.
Yes, sir.
Half students are 50. So total?
50,000.
I recovered. So my calculation is correct. I did not charge more from the students. I did not charge less from the student. I recovered my cost.
Yes, sir.
Get it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Now you gave me this logic. Now you only gave this 75 wala logic, or you understood this.
I
Yeah?
understood, sir. Yes, sir.
But previously you did not give this logic. What logic you gave?
I gave full logics, like half logic, sir.
Half logic you gave. Half logic means what? 50 full students means you said
100, no, 50 half students means 100 full students, sir.
uh, no.
Sir, we can do either way also, no, sir. If
Yeah,
we are,
yeah,
50
but you have to know
students
what you
become
calculate.
100 half
yes,
students.
sir.
50 full students, you converted them into 100 half students you did.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Then what will it become? That will become
150
100
half
half students, half travel students, and as you do 25 half
That's
students.
50 half.
No,
Of
sir. 50 half students, 100.
So this becomes 150.
Half students.
Okay, so what is the cost? 50,000 divided by 150. It
150.
is
333
333 is what fare? This is
for
the
Half.
half.
student's fare.
So
Half,
333 will be for half fare students, and the double amount is for full fare students.
that's what we calculated here also.
Yes, sir.
Either you from 333 you go to 666 or 66, 666.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
This is the only critical part in the entire service costing. That is nothing else. Okay. If I give you the formula for equivalent, you can remember and you can always forget. Stick to the logic. Apply independently for every problem. I'm telling you, this logic will be there with you forever.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it or not? Yes. If you make a formula into 2 divided by 2, and you try to remember this, then it will go for a toss. Okay. You will never be able to, any change in the question, you will again suffer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's the answer to this question. The same logic can be applied to hotel business also. Okay. Hotel business also works in the same way. Why? Because there are so many costs that are there in the hotel business, and yet the room sizes are different. Okay, there are standard rooms, there are deluxe rooms, and there are luxurious rooms. The tariffs will be different for them. The associated costs also will be different for them. So you have to find out what is the equivalent cost. And if you know for the standard, you can get it for the deluxe, and the luxury you can get that. Okay. So why don't you guys take this? Did they give any question on this? On hotels, did they give any question? The one question must be there. Powerhouses. Did we solve all the questions or did we leave any? Project cost we did. I think fifth one you can take it as a homework since we have already done this. Okay, fifth one you can do similar problem we did. Fifth one you take it as a homework. I think that's it. I will try to give you some questions on hotels. Okay, fifth one you do as a homework, right? Why just and you can do all the other these problems also you can do. Okay, all the exercise problems you can do. Okay, answers are very nicely given also. That's all, guys. Equivalent only what I had to explain you today. Okay, that's all we have. Uh, Tomorrow I will be taking up tax classes. Okay, maybe next Saturday, Sunday we'll start with our standard costing. Okay, right,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Take care, guys. Then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.